Hello, it's another great day at the beach. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I am so excited that for today we have Dana McIntosh here from My Vacation Haven. My Vacation Haven is a property management group here. My gosh, it's been years. I know, I've known
decades.
You,
Yes,
Dana.
a while.
And My Vacation Haven's been around for how long now?
Almost 17 years now.
17 years. And you do all over. Like, what's the area that you guys cover?
Sure, good question. So our office is located in Miramar Beach, and we focus on servicing properties for rental management from Crystal Beach, so just on the east edge of Destin, down to Inlet Beach on the east end of 30A.
Well, awesome. But I'm excited today that we are going to talk about what are some things you can do for your unit to be ready for peak season, but to really just things to think about as you want to maximize your rental income. And, you know, as you talk about the area that My Vacation Haven covers from Crystal Beach down to Inlet Beach, you guys cover it all. So it's from studio condos, beachfront houses with pools,
Right.
etc. Across the full gamut.
That's
so
right.
you have a lot of different things. So what's something that comes to mind right now that's an easy thing to do?
An easy thing, so there's a number of different ways you can, get your property ready for rental season, maximize the revenue, and, there's a few different areas to focus on when you're talking about doing things to your property. It's what can the guests see online when they're shopping, because there's so many options to choose from nowadays. It can be overwhelming. So you want to make sure you've got your unit set apart from other units, whether that be making sure your photos look great, whether that you want to make sure you've got it spruced up with nice paint. You want to make sure you've got all those extra little touches and pieces to set it apart in the photos they're viewing. But then also one of the other ways and big areas we talk about is how to make sure the guests will enjoy your property once they get here.
And that's important for repeat business.
It is, exactly right. They shop online to pick the right property from the pictures and the description. So you want to make sure that's all accurate and up to date. But once they get here, they've traveled 10 hours, they've got screaming kids, they're tired, they're hungry, they're hot. They want to hit the beach as fast as possible. They want to have, groceries in their unit. They want the kids to be enjoying the place, and they want to make sure it's clean and well maintained. So you want to make sure you've got all those from a proactive manner, that it's cleaned well, maintained well. But then also once the guest gets here, is the AC working properly? Just something as simple as making sure your AC is working properly by having it serviced before busy summer season is key, because again, those guests travel for 10 hours in a hot car with a bunch of kids. They want to get here and relax with a AC that's cold and probably a cold beer out of a fridge that's nice and cold. So you have a lot of preventative maintenance to make sure you're doing on your unit prior to season and really year round. That's one thing we provide for our homeowners.
Oh, and as you say that about preventive maintenance, yes, like having that deep clean of a unit makes it much easier to maintain the cleanliness over the course of the year. And
Right.
the HVAC and
Right.
appliances, having that preventive maintenance, because people want it cold.
They want it cold, they want it comfortable, they want it clean. And as busy as the rentals turn over throughout the busy summer season in our area, and even extending into spring break and fall break and holiday times, you've got cleaning teams that come in and get them cleaned as well as they can in that short window of time between checkout and check-in on a busy Saturday. But it's important to make sure you're doing a deeper annual clean and, cleaning behind the furniture and the appliances that you don't have time to do on a regular basis. So it does stay fresh and clean, when it comes time for busy season again. But maintenance also, you're right, is a key factor to making sure the guests can enjoy themselves once they get here. You want to make sure the lights are all working, and you want to make sure the remote controls for the TVs are working, that you want to make sure the internet's working. Everybody wants the internet Wi-Fi. You want to make sure the guests have that information prior to their arrival and it's easy to find, so that they can just get here and relax and enjoy their stay. and you really have a great experience and want to come back and stay again, because talking about increasing rental revenue, that's a great way on how to increase your rental revenue, is building up that traction and that book of repeat clientele that'll come back and stay year after year, give you a good review, tell their friends and family how great it was, and really that just enables you to increase the demand for your unit, thereby, allowing you to command a higher rental revenue for your property.
You brought up a good point that I hadn't thought about till you said that about, got to make sure you have good Wi-Fi.
Right.
And I guess it's probably more important now as so many people are streaming.
That's right. That's right. So if you have a 3 or 4 bedroom home that sleeps 10 to 12 people on average, you have to imagine probably every single one of those people have their cell phone, so they're on there. But then also you've probably got the kids or even the parents that have iPads and laptops that are up. And then every single TV in the unit, they want to have streaming capability on there for their Netflix and YouTube and Amazon Prime or what have you, Hulu. And so you've got to make sure you've got good internet service. And even if that means paying a little more per month to have a higher level of coverage and, bandwidth, it's worth it. Because back a few years ago, when people didn't realize how much streaming was going to be happening and they still had the lower minimum level of internet service, guests weren't happy about that. And so now being able to talk about how your property has high-speed internet and enough bandwidth to support the number of guests that are going to be occupying the property, that's an important factor for sometimes selection of your property when they're looking through the description online, but also for that guest experience we talk about, so they can enjoy their stay.
So how important is it to have smart TVs now?
Smart TVs, guests expect that. They do. DVD players are obsolete. VCR players are obsolete. Smart TVs are the way to go. They're inexpensive at Best Buy or Walmart now. And, having that easy use of the TV, that's what most people have at home. And I talk to my homeowners a lot about when guests come on vacation, they want something as nice or not nicer than what they have at home. So they've come to expect, most guests coming to our area have smart TVs at home. They're used to just turning it on, being able to log into what they want, to their apps, and have everything at their fingertips. So having those smart TVs and also having them mounted, because safety is a big thing in vacation rental properties nowadays. And, just buying the TV and setting it on the dresser is okay, but ideally go ahead and, pay a little extra and have that TV mounted. It helps with safety. And it makes your home look more modern and gives guests room to spread out with their things as well once they get here. And you don't have to fear, the kids getting excited and running around back and forth and knocking by that TV and it falling over. So we want to make sure we help our owners think through that whole process and experience for the guests to really, elevate and again, create a good guest experience.
That's a really good point when you bring up about safety. I had not thought about that. And the TVs, what do you know? All of our TVs are sitting in our dressers in our bedrooms. Honey cakes. Need to put that on the to-do list. What are some other things from a safety standpoint that are a good thing to do?
Good question. You want to make sure from a safety standpoint, of course, that all your door locks and windows are, working properly. You also want to make sure your smoke detectors are not old and yellowed and worn out. And our maintenance team changes out the batteries in our smoke detectors on an annual basis and tests them on a monthly basis to make sure they're working. And also, a lot of people in the vacation rental industry don't realize how important fire extinguishers are. I can't tell you the number of properties that I take over from other services that owners come to us, and I look at the fire extinguisher and it hasn't been checked in 5 or 10 years. And that can be an issue. Knock on wood, we want to hope that there's never a time that someone will need to use that. But if an emergency arises and you need it, you want to know that that's there to be able to keep them safe. So we have our properties and fire extinguishers checked every year by a fire safety company to make sure that fire extinguishers are not only working, but also placed in the right areas. If you have a multiple story home, you've got a kitchen on one level, laundry room on another level, HVAC system on multiple levels, those are all heat producing items that could cause potential issues. So when you have a fire safety company come and do their expert inspection and servicing of those fire extinguishers, they'll let you know, well, you have this many square feet, this many stories, and you need to have fire extinguishers in those different heat producing areas. So if you have a kitchen fire arise up on the second or third floor of a large home, you don't have to run downstairs to the laundry room to find the fire extinguisher, or vice versa. So it's important to make sure you not only have working extinguishers, but also that they are in the right places.
I need to add more fire extinguishers in our house. So let's talk a little bit, what about outside the home?
So outside the home, well, you've got, whether you're talking about a condo or a single family home or townhome, you've got, again, a lot of opportunities on how to prepare your rental and increase the rental revenue. If you've got a single family home or a townhome, you want to make sure that first impression, not only in the photos, but also when the guest arrives, looks nice. Is it clean and pressure washed, or is it covered with mold and dirt and cobwebs? You want to make sure that first impression when the guest arrives makes them smile and makes them know that they're going to have a great place to stay for their vacation with their family. So make sure the outside's clean, pressure washed, free of, cobwebs and mold and things that'll be off-putting when they first arrive. Make sure just something as simple as going to Walmart and buying a new $20 doormat, a welcome doormat for your front door, can be something that can brighten up someone's day. And also outside, you've got a lot of opportunity for fun things for the renter. Whether you're providing beach chairs and a beach umbrella, whether you're providing bicycles or golf cart for them to use while they're, in the area. A lot of homes now are also adding all sorts of fun games, cornhole, and neat things like that to give the guest, again, another reason to choose your unit, maybe seeing it in the photos and description online, but then also really being able to enjoy themselves when they're here. You want to think of all the things they can do, maybe when they're, it's raining outside. How can we make sure they're having a good time? Or it doesn't get cold in our area much, but it has been getting colder in the winter, and we're seeing more and more homes add fire pits, to have a fire pit experience. Or all year round, they want to grill out that fresh catch they've gone out and caught earlier on the fishing trip, or just grill up some steaks and hamburgers and, really enjoy the outdoor weather that's so beautiful here in Paradise.
So I am going to add off of that a little bit, because one thing, depending on the type of property it is, you may not be able to have grills there.
Very true.
So they might have a common grill area.
That's true.
So when you think of some of the condo buildings from a rental, but on a house, if there are not restrictions in the neighborhood,
that's
or
right,
from an insurance standpoint, but you're right, to do that fresh catch. And I think another thing, I remember back in the days when we were renting, to have the big steam pot for the for the shrimp oil.
Shrimp oil, exactly. And if you're talking about, that's a good point, Jennifer, if you're talking about a condo building where they have the common area grills, even if you as the homeowner don't want to come down and grill out that much, your guests might want to grill out. So make sure you've got those big cookie sheets or trays and big grilling utensils that they can use, basting brushes or what have you, because I've seen so many people being over at condo buildings where they're holding little plates of stuff they're trying to take down to the grill, and it must be, oh, that condo must not have had, things they could utilize for the common grill area getting back and forth. So even little simple things like housewares and the inventory that you're providing in your kitchen and things to make sure that the guests can have a comfortable stay with everything they might be doing while they're here. The basics are great, but being able to go over and above and have those additional little touches is really a nice thing for the renters.
And there are so many, it's not expensive to have some of those platters to take down to the grill.
Right.
And, I know it's coming up on Father's Day. Somebody's always got a good deal on the grilling.
Exactly. Even Amazon nowadays, is the easy go-to. It'll be here in 2 days. Just push a button.
That's right. That's right. And so as we're heading into the peak season, this has been some really great ideas. But I'm going to ask one other question, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So what's something good to do at the end of the peak season to be ready for that shoulder season?
So that's a good idea. As we round down peak season at the end of the summer in our area and go into a slower time of year, that's when a lot of our homeowners like to come in town and kind of take stock of the condition of all the items in the unit. You know, those platters and those frying pans and spatulas may have gotten worn and used so much they need to be replaced. So it's a good time to look at your housewares inventory and freshen up and restock as needed. But also it's a time to really take stock of your unit as a whole. What kind of condition is the property in? What kind of condition is your furniture in, your appliances? And, you know, as we talk about today's current rental market, there's so many options out there for people to choose from. You want to make sure yours is going to shine compared to all the others. So is it time to do a refresh on the interior of your unit? Is it time for a fresh coat of paint? Is it time to upgrade appliances? Or is it time to, you know, get a fresh steam cleaning on everything, whether that be your upholstery on your sofa and chairs, and steam clean the tile, or the carpet if you've got carpet and area rugs throughout the home. But, you know, less is more at a vacation rental in the beach area with sand and suntan lotion and oils and everything. So the more hard surfaces you can have, you know, if you still have wall-to-wall carpet, I'll tell you now, going into the off season after peak season is a great time to get some quotes and possibly get some solid surface flooring installed. Not only will it help for future rentability of the unit, guests will have a great experience. It'll be easier to keep clean. And so it's a good proactive way to think about how can your unit stay in great shape, which also then when it's time for them to turn it back over to you, Jennifer, to get it sold, you'll have a better, easier time hopefully to get it sold.
Very true.
You know, so the rentals and I think real estate go hand in hand to where we want to help keep the rental high value from a rentability standpoint, but also I think that in turn helps you guys sell it later to increase the value of the property, don't you think?
And as there are changes, so, you know, whether it be that it's a 1031 investment, and as the owner's thinking about what do I need next? Do I need to take this property and go into a couple of smaller ones, or do I need something larger now as the family's expanding?
Right, exactly.
But we all get to work together.
That's right, that's right.
But I love all these ideas that you shared. We will make sure to post this list of ideas underneath for everyone to access. But please feel free to contact My Vacation Haven. You know, you can always reach me as well, Jennifer Crawford at Own at the Beach. But thank you so much, Dana. This has been really helpful.
Thank
I hope
you.
Everybody has a fabulous day, and I hope we get to see you here at the beach soon. Take care.